All right, let's cut right through all the noise. Today, we're talking about how to actually launch a brand new career in data analytics. No hype, no confusion. Just a straight-up, practical guide to get you there. So where do we even begin?
Well, it probably starts with this feeling. Does this look familiar? You're in a job, but it feels like you're not really going anywhere. Or maybe you're just ready for something new, something with more potential for growth. More financial freedom. That feeling of being stuck, it's a real thing, and so many people feel it.
And you know what that leads to, right? It's that specific kind of stress, that end-of-the-month anxiety when you're looking at your bank account, just hoping everything adds up. It's absolutely draining. And honestly, it's a huge sign that it might be time for a change. And that change could absolutely be a career in data. But hold on, I know what you're probably thinking, because there are these massive myths out there that stop really smart, talented people from even giving it a shot. So let's just tackle those head-on right now.
Okay, first up, the big one, the math myth. People think you have to be some kind of math prodigy, but here's the reality. You absolutely don't. The tools we have today, they do all the heavy lifting, all the hard calculations. What you really need is to be curious. You need to be a good detective, someone who loves asking questions and digging for clues hidden inside the data. And it's not just about math. The whole game has changed when it comes to hiring. Companies these days, they care way less about what fancy school is on your diploma and way, way more about what you can actually do. Provable skills you can show off in a portfolio will beat a fancy degree pretty much every single time. And probably the biggest myth of them all, that this stuff is just impossibly complex and, well, boring. And that could not be further from the truth. Data analytics is all about finding the story. It's about taking these endless rows of numbers and turning them into a clear, compelling narrative that helps a business make a really important decision. It's creative, and it's super impactful.
Okay, so if you don't need to be a math wizard and you don't need a PhD, what do you actually need? Well, it turns out the answer is surprisingly straightforward. Let's put together your starter kit. It really just boils down to these 3 tools. That's it. First, you gotta master Excel. I mean, it's the foundation, it's literally everywhere. Then you learn SQL. Think of this as the universal language for talking to databases and pulling out the information you need. And finally, you get good with a visualization tool, something like Power BI or Tableau. This is the fun part. This is where you become the storyteller, turning all that raw data into visuals that people can actually understand. Now, learning the tools is just step 1. The most critical part, the part that really matters, is what you do with them. You have to build concrete evidence that you have these skills. And this is where the portfolio comes in. And listen, this is so important. Your portfolio is basically your new resume. Think about it for a second. A resume just tells an employer what you can do. A portfolio shows them. It's proof. A simple website with just 2 or 3 solid, well-explained projects is 1,000 times more powerful than a piece of paper.
And the best part, this doesn't have to take years. Seriously, you can frame this as a 4-month sprint to a totally new career. Month 1, you just focus on mastering the basics. Month 2, you build your very first project from start to finish. Month 3 is all about building and launching that all-important portfolio. And by month 4, guess what? You're ready. You can start applying for jobs. Yeah, it's a sprint, but it is 100% achievable.
Now, a lot of people start this journey. They get all excited, they buy the online courses, they watch all the videos, but a huge number of them never actually make it to the finish line. And there's a very, very specific reason why. So what is it? What's the big roadblock? Why do so many people who want to become analysts get stuck in that learning loop and never actually land a job? This is it. This is the single biggest mistake people make. They fall into this trap of just passive learning. They start collecting course certificates like they're trading cards, thinking that one more certificate is going to be the magic ticket, but it's not. Learning without applying that knowledge is useless. You have to stop collecting and you have to start creating. So let's pull all of this together. You now have a map, a real map that can take you from feeling completely stuck to starting a new, exciting, and rewarding career. I mean, just look at what you know now. You have a clear path to follow. You know the only 3 tools you really need to get started. You know that a portfolio is the key. That's how you prove what you can do. And maybe most importantly, you know the biggest trap to avoid. Don't just learn, build something. So the plan is all laid out. The myths have been busted. The path is clear. There's really only one thing left in this whole equation.
So you see, the final question has nothing to do with data or technology. It's all about you. Right here, right now. What is the one single thing you are going to do today to get this journey started? What's your first step?